What's up, YouTube? Welcome to an Arena Cube Draft video here on our YouTube channel. My name is Ethan, also known as Lord Tupperware. Before we dive into this pack one, pick one, I want to go ahead and remind folks, please consider clicking that subscribe button, the thumbs up button, writing a comment in the comment section. It all helps us grow our channel. Now, diving into the cube in general, I think best of one and this Arena Cube sort of gives a very different cube experience. It's not as flexible. It's not really, I think, as much about like synergy and drafting a deck, not cards. I do think raw power level and consistency in your mana base is really going to help you win and weather the swings of best of one here. So to that end, I do think curve is important, but I also think just like drafting cards that were super bombs in their original format is going to lead to good decks as well and good wins. So I'm going to start off with an Elspeth Conquers Death here out of this pack. Not much else to consider in my mind, really. You know, you could take Callous Dismissal as cheap interaction for blue, but I do think control decks are a little punished in this format. So following up our ECD, you know, we are going to want to be very aware of lowering our curve, I would think. But I'm not sure that means I want to take something as like, you know, all in aggressive as Dauntless Bodyguard. Giant Killer, also not too bad as a flexible spell. Tapper, pretty nice. I am going to try and stick to, you know, 1 to 2 colors if possible, as much as possible, I would say, to sort of keep consistency in my deck. I think Secluded Step is also something worth thinking about. Probably just going to take this Dauntless Bodyguard, actually. Elspeth Conquers Death, you know, a good control finisher or good control piece as well, but also totally fine top end in a Curveout deck. So I think I will just take the Savannah Alliance here, the 1 mana 2/1, but not be so, you know, married to it. All right, this is a pretty sweet pack. I'm going to take Ranger of Eos. If we do end up mono white, this kind of card is really strong. If you can get the 1-drops, that is. You know, if you have, I'd say probably 4-ish 1-drops, this card is really nice. Getting a 4-drop that then refuels your hand that draws 2 cards for you is really strong. Tithe Taker is quite good as well. But I think Ranger of Eos is more powerful. Possible if we do end up mono white to wheel either Tithe Taker or Ardenvale Tactician. And we're seeing a lot of you know, strong expensive spells, but they are expensive. And you know, Rakdos and Kogla and you know, a nice impression of Crater of Behemoth here and Enray's Forerunners. But I'm gonna take Ranger of Eos. See if we can make that work or maximize that. And you sort of see an issue here with, you know, a number of expensive spells again, like a 5-drop, a 5-drop, a 6-drop, a 5-drop, a 7-drop. So what the question for us now is, what are we going to take? Now we could take Goblin Banneret and try and go red-white aggro. Another good 1-drop for Ranger of Eos. I played a deck yesterday with Cheville. It was a black-green removal deck, and Cheville was very, very powerful. I was quite impressed. There's also a possibility to just take Feather and take that as a red-white possibility, or just something like Unbreakable Formation that is quite strong if we end up in a go wide deck. I think I'm not seeing anything super exciting to pull me away from mono white at the moment. Feather and Goblin Banneret are sort of pulling me that way, but I think I'm just going to take the Unbreakable Formation and see what comes. Now, speaking of mono white, now we've got Daxos and Castle Ardenvale, as well as a Splendor Mare. Icy Manipulator, just a little slow, I think, for Cube. You know, it's a fine card, but a 4-drop that doesn't do anything, or now it's a 5-drop removal spell. You know, you want a little bit more bang for your buck in Cube, I'd say. Winota's kind of cute as well, but we don't really have any non-humans just yet. I'm going to slam and jam this Daxos here. Maybe hoping to wheel Castle Ardenvale, though that's unlikely. But Daxos seems really nice if we're going to end up in mono white or with our heavy white deck. And there's a 1-drop. Now, it can't be found by Ranger, but going to go really nicely in our deck so far. And it's looking more and more likely as each pick happens that we are going to end up just straight mono white here, as we get choices of Charming Prince, Terranica, and Banishing Light. Do I want a removal spell? I don't think I want a removal spell just yet. Charming Prince, what do? Exile another target creature. You know, that's kind of cute. We can reset Dauntless Bodyguard. I'm going to just assume that Charming Prince is going to be better than Terranica in the long run, but that could not be true. Terranica could be a really good 3-drop, but I think just when in doubt, I'm going to take the cheaper card. I'm going to assume we'll get some ETBs. We do have the 1 here with Ranger of Eos, but also Scry 2, gain 3. It's just a nice modal card. Another nice evasive 2-drop there with some applications of exiling a graveyard. So we'll snap that up here. And on the wheel, we see a Starfield Mystic. So enchantment spells cost 1 less to cast, so pretty nice to make Elspeth Conquers Death cost 4. This still costs 2. Whenever an enchantment you control is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, you put a +++ counter on Starfield Mystic. I think I'm going to take that. I mean, this is unlikely to make it to the graveyard, but Daxos definitely could. This is definitely going to make its way to the graveyard. It's a 2-drop. Like, Cryptic Caves is fine as, you know, I think Cryptic Caves is fine, but I kind of like taking the Starfield Mystic and seeing what comes. Now we get Step versus Hoplite. Now, Hoplite's quite good in mono white. So even though Secluded Step is going to be super strong for us as a cycling land, I think Hoplite's also going to be awesome, and I'm going to be happy to grab that. We get Tithe Taker here. So we're just really going to have a 2-pack deck, it looks like, with our mono white picks. We'll take the cycling land here. Don't know if we're going to play it. Much worse than Secluded Step, as it costs 3 to cycle rather than 1. And now we get Splendor Mare versus Icy. Again, I think I'm just going to lean on the 3-mana 3/3. And we get an Ariel as well as Corpse Knight. Corpse Knight seems like it could possibly be very good if we end up dipping into another color. Ariel as well is strong. I just feel like this effect, you know, with Legion's Landing and with the Hoplite are going to be a little better for us. So the unfortunate thing about having a draft like this is that the picks aren't going to be super interesting moving forward, I would say. But hopefully the games will be pretty interesting. So we'll get nice and lucky here, opening, I think, one of the best cards we could. Gideon Blackblade is very strong as a 3-mana Planeswalker that ticks up pretty aggressively, is aggressive itself. I think that's going to be real nice in this deck. Cards we could wheel, there's really just nothing for us, unfortunately. I'd say, you know, maybe Blast Zone if we were interested in an effect like that. March could wheel if we ended up dipping into another color, but gonna be happy with getting here. All right, now this is interesting. So it costs 1 less to cast for each knight you control, so let's do a quick knight check. 1. What are you fully, Daxos? Demigod, right? Just the 1 knight so far? Okay. So that I'm going to take the Pegasus here. And the reason being, 1, I really want 1-drops for Ranger of Eos. 2, I think it's, well, but both of these could wheel, right? But I think this is actually not super necessary for our deck. This is a much grindier card than our deck is interested in. Our deck is really interested in like curving out and beating down and doesn't really care. Like an Anthem is fine, obviously, but a 5-mana Anthem isn't that exciting. So I'm going to take the Pegasus here as a card that, you know, would be, I think, most likely to wheel for us, considering, you know, we got the Tithe Taker pretty late. It does look like mono white is open, but I don't want to risk it. I want to make sure we get as many 1s as possible to make Ranger better, and just makes our deck better as well. So Sky Marcher Aspirant, going to be the pick for us. Birth of Meletus, the other white card in the pack, not what the doctor ordered for our aggressive deck. And then, you know, we're just very strong cards like Mind Stone and Carriage, you know, is kind of go wide-ish, but that's not what we're interested in. So snap up another 1-drop for us here. And now we get the option of, I think it's really, we're probably not playing anything in this pack, but I think Immortal Sun is definitely possible. You know, that's an Anthem I'm interested in. We only have the 1 Planeswalker so far that it shuts down, and could just be a totally fine top-end card for us. God's Willing also really nice as a combat trick, but I think the upside of Immortal Sun is just too high. Wow. So we get Gingerbrute versus Venerated Loxodon. Really hard to pass up on the Loxodon here. It's close, though. It's really close here between Gingerbrute as another 1-drop for Ranger. It's just a little too late in the pack for me to imagine that something like Loxodon could wheel. So I think I just want to take that. I'm not confident, though. It's really, really possible that Brute is better. But I'm going to take the Loxodon here. Okay. Kind of a swing and a miss here. The only white card in the pack is Ministrant of Obligation, and that's not really a card I'm interested in. It's underpowered. Yes, it dies into 2/1/1s, but I don't think that's going to be making the cut for us. Another 1-drop. That's great. That makes me feel better about not taking the Ginger Brute. So happy about that. Idyllic Tutor could find Daxos. Could find Elspeth Conquers Death, but we're just going to take the 1-drop there. All right, Banalish Marshal. We're just drafting the old White Weenie deck from like a year ago in Standard. Ethereal Absolution is probably one of the strongest cards in the cube. As you can see against our deck, it's pretty awesome. And Raise the Alarm would also be fine in our deck, but Banalish Marshal definitely takes the cake there for us. We did Wheel Blast Zone as the only card I was talking about. I don't think I'm going to play it, but I will take it here. I don't care about Witch's Oven. I don't really want to jam like some mountains in my deck for heroic reinforcements, which would be good, but like Banalish Marshal really does make that something I'm not interested in. Another white card that we're not going to play. Birth, another cycling land. Carriage Mindstone. I think I just take the cycling land here. We could play we can play those 2 white cards. We get a God's Willing on the wheel, so that's good. 8-drop is just way out of range for us, and just a whole bunch of nothing, more nothing. So like I said, the draft not super interesting here, but I do think the games probably will be. All right, Fairy Guide Mother, another 1-drop. Like I keep saying, like the deck just wants a ton of 1-drops, but it also, like the flexible card like this is really nice as like something that's good to pick up with Ranger of Eos, but also totally fine in your opener. And I would imagine we wheel the Drill Master, which I would also play here. So happy about that. All right. So here we've got, I think the choices between, we got a couple like kind of junky removal spells in Law Rune Enforcer and Pacifism. Though let's remember, we really just have like no interaction other than Elspeth Conquers Death and I guess sort of Immortal Sun. So that's something to keep in mind. This Mystic is probably not making the cut, right? Just didn't really get there. That's totally fine. I am going to take Kinjali Sunwing. This is rock solid. Kind of a powerhouse in an aggro deck. Making your opponent's stuff come into play tapped is really hard for them to race against an aggro deck like this. So I'm going to take that and be pretty happy with it. And now we get Conclave Tribunal, as well as a couple kind of junky cards. Juggernaut's not that bad in our deck, to be honest, but I will take, we already passed up on a Banishing Light. I will take the Tribunal here. And, we could wheel something like Juggernaut. Sparring Construct, just a little too bad for me to consider, even though it is another 1-drop. And now we get Pride of Conquerors versus nothing. I doubt we play this, but I'm still going to take it. Again, like I'm not interested in splashing red for Weaponize here without any fixing. I think we're gonna get a lot of strength in our deck from just having super consistent mana. And we can probably play something like, with the best of 1 hand smoother, we can probably play something like 15 lands. With like maybe a couple of the tapped triomes if we want. So we're at 21 playables right now. I'm going to take Elspeth Conquers Death. Slots into the curve nicely. Really kind of what the doctor ordered in terms of we don't have a 4-drop. It's good with our go wide plan. Good if we already have board presence to plus. Nice card advantage in terms of being able to escape it. So happy to grab that here. And I think Ancestral Blade's actually kind of good here for us. Could also see something like Field of Ruin, but there's not much that we care about blowing up, like save for some flipped like Search for Azcanta or something. So I'll take Blade for now. Oh yeah, Imperial Aerosaur has impressed me quite a bit. That's a nice aggressive card. So that comes into play and gives something +1/+1 and flying until end of turn. So not only is it an efficient threat itself, but also turns something else into a flying threat for a turn. Well, no Urza's Ruinous Blast for us, but Clockwork Servant, not too shabby. 3-man, 2/3 draw card. I mean, it's not the most aggressive, but like probably better than something like Splendor Mare. And now we get the Drill Master on the wheel, and I think that's going to be the deck. Now, we do have 2 Planeswalkers now, which makes Immortal Sun slightly worse. But I think I'm still going to play it. It's like Pacifism. We may actually want this. We'll see if, check out the deck at the end here. Juggernaut. So there's no sideboarding here, so there's a lot of cards we could be considering for sideboard material, but it just doesn't matter. Get trapped as pacifism #2. That's actually probably just better than pacifism. I don't know if flyers are the thing that we're worried about, more so than shutting down activated abilities, which could be nice. Wow. No love for the sack deck there. Yeah, I think this is the deck I'm going to... Oh, I need to make a cut, I guess. Maybe Blade could be the cut then. I think this is the deck I'm going to run with 15 lands, and then probably no tapped lands, because I think those are going to hurt us more than they'll help us. So, 15 planes, and we'll see you for the matches. All right, here we are for game #1. This is definitely a keeper. We're on the draw, which is a bummer. But we have the opportunity to get a, do I want to protect Guide Mother here? This feels like it's more likely to be able to attack on this turn and get in damage than something else. All right, so miss out a little bit there, and we'll play another flyer. Okay. And we'll go Tithe Taker, Bodyguard on Cleric, and pass. So next turn, we formation, attack, and then Loxodon, and that should be game. So what turn is this? Turn 4, casual, what? 19 power on the board? Cool. Wow. We still win, though. So we make this. Make the Cleric indestructible, and then this dies into a 1/1 and we win. Yeah. All right, 1-0. All right, game #2, another great Curveout hand. Not winning the die roll, though. Real bummer, but we can keep the beats coming. Unfortunate this Drill Master isn't going to be maximized against our can't attack or block by itself card here, but that's fine. All right, Hypnotic Sprite getting hard cast here. So let's play Drill Master. Kraken, that's gotta get exiled, I would think. It's unfortunate. A good Black Blade. No, I think we just gotta get that Kraken off the board right now. So I'll tap, cast this, get the Kraken off the board, attack with the Drill Master. Midnight Clock. All right. So now I think we Gideon. Get this going. Ooh, Spell Pierce, wow. Okay. Chart. Looks like opponent needs some lands. They found 2, I assume. Okay. And they Banishing Light the Tribunal. Yeah. Okay. Well, I guess I'll drop a flyer. We can set up a pretty nasty turn in the future to like Hoplite, get a bunch of 1/1s, and then convoke out the Loxodon. Opponent down to 2 cards. Gotta try and race this clock, which I'm not confident we can at the moment. Tezzeret. They could draw. They're gonna make a Thopter. Oh, ECD. All right. So we're gonna Aerosaur. +1/+1. And I'm tempted to ignore Tezzeret, but I don't think I can. I think I gotta attack Tezzeret. I'll use this ECD to take out the clock. I don't really care about this Nadir Kraken at the moment. So they're going to draw 1 here, make another 1/1. Nadir Kraken is big, but we're going to have a bunch of little chumpers or even cards that can trade with it in a couple turns or with 1 more land drop. So hoping it's not a removal spell here. Search is also annoying. Yeah, a lot of forms of card advantage on the other side of the battlefield. They're going to get in for 5 here, no blocks. Hope to draw a land. Okay. Legion's Landing. Okay. That's going to flip. So we'll drop Landing here. I think we offer the trade with Pegasus and the 1/1 just so we can flip Landing. And then we can... We just make a 1/1, I guess. So I'm going to go attack. Attack the opponent with Aerosaur and then these 2 at Tezzeret. Flip the Landing. Okay. I think next turn we'll have to Elspeth Conquers Death the clock because it goes up to 8 and then 9 now and then 10 on our turn. So if they want, they can just dump 6 mana into it to flip it or to crack it rather. So we may be too late, but hopefully they do something with their turn here. So they don't have 6 mana available, but they might. In which case, we'll Conquer's Death the Kraken instead. And just take our lumps with them having 7 cards. I think we just chump the 1 and take 2 from the other. Elspeth Conquers Death can get back Gideon. Probably the best target right now. If they just play a land and pass, then it's a lot different for us here, I think. Make a 1/1. Because now they could just crack the clock. They may be incentivized not to because they get to flip search. So now... what happens? I can hoplite. I think we go... I might ECD the Kraken? Or I could ECD Banishing Light, Tribunal the Kraken. Sort of the same thing, I guess. It's a tough decision here if I'm supposed to go wide or not. I think I'm an Elspeth Conquers Death here. Just makes Hoplite so much better. I actually think I'm just gonna... Exiling Banishing Light Tribunal Kraken doesn't... I mean, it gets us another pip for the Hoplite is the only reason, but if they have another kind... Well, whatever. Does that really matter? No, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna exile Banishing Light and get the extra pip for the Hoplite. Huh. Now I kind of don't want to attack with anything. Yeah, I think I... Maybe... Yeah, I think I don't attack. So they stack these to flip search first. We got a game on our hands. They're going to draw 7 new cards. That's really scary. And they'll have a flipped search for Azcanta. Perhaps I did need to attack last turn. I don't know. In Bols' clutches, Elspeth Conquers Death. Okay. And that's obviously very bad for us, though their graveyard is going to be shuffled next turn. So they may not have very much to get back. Okay. So now, what do? Do I take the opportunity to Elspeth Sun's Nemesis before it's too expensive? No, I think we're on Hoplite, Convoke. Pump this one. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I have a 4/4. I think I will just attack with the Aerosaur. It's a tough game. I don't know if I should have been playing more aggressively or not. Sphinx of Foresight coming into play tapped. Tezzeret comes back. Wow, that's a really good draw. It was Marshall and Smash team, I think. And whatever I guess they can get Cloud Kinseer back. Marshall Smash seems really good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 creatures. And they get back Cloud Kinseer, but I don't think they're pressuring us that much. I'm going to Marshall here. We can also use Elspeth next turn for the rare gain 5 life in case they are trying to race us pretty hard. I think the thing we have to be scared of right now is a sweeper. So they're lining up a bunch of chumps. They should know that they want Seer to die this turn, yeah. And then they're letting 8 through. They're not blocking with the 2/2. It's interesting. All right, we're also gaining 3 this turn with that token, which they're going to double block. That Banalish Marshall rip was pretty clutch. Nope, they're not happy with those blocks either. Okay, they're going to double block the Hoplite. Opponent down to 5. We're up to 17. We have a commanding board here. So see if they can find planar cleansing or shatter the sky. Bottom the scry from the Sphinx. They get back Seer. They have enough mana where they could activate Search and still have 6 for planar cleansing. So they have that plus a Tezzeret draw as well. So if it's in their deck, they have a high chance of finding it. But they're not snapping it off, so I don't know. We'll see. That's basically the only thing I can think of that beats us is like cleansing or shatter. All right. They draw off Tezzeret. Commence. So now they're down to 4 lands, that is. So Shatter is really the only option. And we got there. Wow. Just showing the power of aggro in this best of 1 cube. All right, we finally win the die roll. Not our best 1-drop and not the best looking hand, but we will end up keeping this. Lead on the Pegasus. That's a pretty good spot. Like there's very few things for us that are like, it's like lands or spells is really what we're looking for. So I'm gonna lead on a Scry here to try and stack some lands. So Drillmaster bottom, land top. And now we really are in a position where there's very few bad draws for us. Opponent trying to bounce Prince. They're going to bounce the Pegasus. That's fine. So now we get to Peggy and Tithe Taker. Illyrios. It's a perfect trapped in the tower target. It's also, yeah, I think that's just the perfect trap target. Lets us push 6 damage this turn. It sort of takes care of the card as a 1-for-1 here. Shalai. Okay. So we'll Sunwing. No attacks. And hope to resolve an ECD next turn to take out the Shalai. Well, I'd rather get this countered, so. Oh, blink the Sunwing in response? Sure. That's still pretty wide for you, opponent. I assume that means they want to cast something this turn as another blocker. Huh. All right, let's start with Tribunal then. And tap a bunch of 1/1s. Cycling Shark Typhoon for nothing. Oh, did they think it was for 1? I'm very confused. Yeah, because the Tithe Taker tax there existed. Wow. Great. 3-0. All right, here we are for game number 3. I go first. This hand is amazing. Knight into Drillmaster. Yeah. Do I want double 1-drop here so that landing flips? I think I do, actually. Sack a creature, okay. Just such a beating. Kroxa. All right, I'll discard Drillmaster, I think. Falmire Knight on Death Touch. All right, let's Unbreakable Formation. Smash. Flip. Opponent goes to 2. Seems fair. Wow. The fastest game in the West. 4-0. All right, another great opener here. As you can see, the hand smoother really working for our advantage. I'm going to keep. I'm going to lead on knight. No other knights to speak of yet. Ah, all right, mono red now. So we'll go cleric, no attacks. Opponent gonna serve. Fine by me. They get a weasel back, a red cap. Okay. Oh, interesting. All right, so now I think I'm on servant. Because I'd like to surprise them with the landing next turn. Question is, am I going to block? Well, at least holds off the initiate and makes them think. So I'm going to do this. Okay, trapped is good too. Next, attack. But I guess this means they're going to hold back the initiate. It might have been better to play these two. Tybalt. Okay. Got a lot of options now. Can triple one drop to flip landing. And use bodyguard to protect the venerable knight. Doesn't seem great because then they get to use the devil to kill the cleric. All right, I'm just gonna attack Tybalt. I don't know what I'm supposed to do there. And let's go Prince Scry 2 Aspirant. Bottom. Also bodyguard to protect the cleric. Let's go Aspirant. Because it will have flying next turn. Tech Giant, that's fine. And trap that. Ooh, that's so good for me. So what I want to do is, so I'm going to Daxos, landing, I guess attack, like throw away Charming Prince. I didn't want to do that because I wanted to trap this. That's bad. So I guess we'll just attack. Attack. Okay. Hellkite gets a counter. Very bad for me. Very good for me. All right. Man, Unbreakable Formation has been nutty. So I get to chump, but then... And what do we do? Bodyguard on probably Aspirant. Whoa. Take the rest. So they can use Hellkite once. Frenzy off the top, so then I'm going to use Hellkite. And wow. Wow, unbreakable formation. Good God. No one drop. Opponent going first. We've got a bit of a pretty slow hand, actually, but I think we have to keep. Got an Opt here. A Spectral Sailor, yeah. Elspeth's nice with Daxos. Wavebreak Hippocamp. I'm not going to trap that. Trancing Melody, my Daxos? Oh my. Huh. Well, I guess I'm going to Aerosaur then. Treasure map's fine. Don't care about that. Okay. Guess we'll start off by attacking with Aerosaur. Elspeth. All right, well, formation plus trap next turn should be pretty good for us. I missed how they scryed. Okay. Sprite to counter the formation. Okay. I still think we like trap Hippocamp and attack with everybody. There's no other knight out here, is there? Yeah. Trap. Yeah, I'd rather than trade Daxos, I'm gonna trap the Hippocamp and attack with everybody. So they get to like trade eat. I think it's still fine. Or maybe they trade with Aspirant. Perhaps I was supposed to trap this because I can Elspeth Conquers Death this next turn. Wow, they're just chumping. Okay, or not chumping, but just all right, so they got a 4 here. We'll see. Elspeth is now going to be down for the count, if they want. But then that leaves them dead in the air. All right, Cavalier, sack, kill. But then we get to Elspeth Conquers Death it, which is nice. All right, Aerosaur down. Elspeth down. So exile Cavalier, forces them to chump. Or not chump, trade. Forces them to trade with Venerable Knight. Go to 1. No upkeep scry with the map. Now they scry. One card to the top. Eldest Reborn, sure. You have 3 mana left. You can play your Sprite. But we still have 3 lethal threats. And you can't cast a non-creature spell. All right, got there. Nice. 6-0, baby. All right, here we go for what could be our last round. Oh, right, the Immortal Sun is in our deck. We have yet to see that card. Gonna keep. We are on the draw, so this hand is a little worse, but still gets the job done. Witch's Oven could be a problem for us. That's a lot of potential life gain for our opponent. We'll see if they've got the sack deck. Yeah, black-red sacrifice. Okay. They're just going to go ahead and play that Skelly. Okay. Does that make me want to lead on Drill Master or Cleric? Probably Cleric, so I can get in for 4 with it next turn in the air. Wow. Wow. Oh my God. Don't think we're beating this one, folks. Huh. Yeah, I'm gonna just pass, I guess. Yeah, this Mayhem Devil's so scary. Now they can just kill 2 X1s? A Crowan War. Yeah, we're not winning this game. They steal Cleric, or steal Bodyguard. All right, I'll sack it. Oh, but, oh. Oh my God. Well, that was gonna happen anyway, so. No, I guess I don't want to sacrifice it because it's going to deal me damage. Wow. I kind of want to just concede right now. There's no way that this is going to end well for us. All right, we can Ranger up a couple 1-drops. See what that does for us. Get Guide Mother and Aspirant. Bone Crusher Giant, sure. Oh, they have Cat Oven? Nah, we're good. Not beating this in a million years with all of our X1s. That was a nice standard deck our opponent had. I guess the same can be said for us. So we're in the 6-0 bracket. We're likely to face those busted decks. All right, round 8. Our opponent goes first, but we have a nice 1-2-3 here, so I'm gonna keep. Mono red, it looks like. Well, I liked our matchup against mono red last time. Yeah, I'm gonna Aspirant first. But being on the play could be a huge advantage for them, so we'll see. Sunwing hopefully can turn the beat around for us. I get in for 1, no blocks. And play Runaway Steamkin. I will offer the trade with that for sure, but I get to gain 1 if they do trade. Okay. Tybalt again, baby. Tybalt again, sure. Oh, that's interesting. I could just kill Tybalt now and play the Guide Mother. I think I'll do that. So gift on Aspirant. Take out Tybalt. And then play the Guide Mother. Bump up the volume on Daxos. And now, will this be 4? Yeah, so landing will actually make Aspirant fly next turn. Okay, so let's go Sunwing. Landing. And I think all out attack, yeah. To flip this thing. Looks like they're flooded pretty hard. Did we get there? Sarkhan. Okay. We do get to kill that, though. We get to kill Sarkhan, that is, not... unless they decide to plus, which would be interesting, too. They may actually decide to just plus. You make a dragon that's tapped, and then Sarkhan goes down. I don't know. We'll see. This will be interesting. They're going to make a dragon. So now Sunwing kills Sarkhan. Good attack there with Steamkin, I think. No blocks. Oh, Gideon. Gideon, you say? I can't really protect that very well. So I don't love playing it here. And it doesn't let us make a 1/1. I think we just attack Sarkhan here. So let's go. Sarkhan down. We'll make a 1/1. We can maybe play Gideon next turn. It's close. Yeah, Pyromancer's not that bad. I am going to chump here. Kind of surprised to see them attack with Steamkin, because it opens up a Daxos attack for us. Okay. Oh, wow. That's quite a draw. Yeah, I'll take action. And I will take Bodyguard and Pegasus. And I will play Bodyguard to save Daxos. Play Peggy. And I will attack with the 2 flyers. Because our Daxos holds off Runaway Steamkin right now. Now, we don't have removal for the dragon, right? Elspeth Conquers Death doesn't do it. Conclave Tribunal does it. But Trapped in the Tower does not. All right, land 6 for the opponent. And my turn. All right. I think I just play Gideon. And plus. Can give whatever Sunwing indestructible and pass. And I might even double block the 4/4 because that saves Gideon. Marshall, Formation, Venerated Loxodon. Any of our Anthem effects would be really nice draws. Slaying Fire the Sunwing. Yeah. So now Gideon is down as well. Which is a shame. We will get to get in for 3. I think the inevitability of the first fort should be good enough for us. Shock the Guide Mother. Okay. All right, let's have a 1/1. Oh, there we go. That's gas. Well, now the question is, do we just want to like take out Steamkin and smash with everybody? No, we probably want to just keep pumping up Gideon here. So let's go lifelink on Peggy. Attack with both. All right, 7-1 with mono white aggro. All right, folks, hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you next time for another video.